everyone, I'm Mayashri from ClearTax. Today I will tell you in brief about the Civil Procedure Code, its sections and orders. The Civil Procedure Code or CPC is the code that regulates the law relating to the procedure of civil courts in India. The procedures given in this code are followed in all the civil courts. Civil courts are the courts where cases that are of civil nature are taken up in India. There are 158 sections and 51 orders in the CPC. The sections of the CPC provide the laws relating to jurisdiction of the civil courts. Jurisdiction means the place where the civil suit can be filed. For example, if the case relates to a property, then the suit must be filed in the court which is situated in the place where the property is situated. If some wrong is done by a person to another person, then the suit can be filed in the court of the place where the wrong is committed or where the opposite party resides. The Act also states that a suit that is already decided relating to the same parties and same subject matter, that is the issue of the suit, cannot be filed again by the same parties relating to the same issue in the court. This is known as res judicata. Institution of civil suits. The suit can be instituted in the court by filing the plaint by the plaintiff. Plaintiff is the person who files the suit. The defendant is the person against whom the suit is filed. The plaint is the statement given by the plaintiff to the court. After the plaint is filed, the summons is issued by the court. Summons is the statement sent by the court asking the defendant to appear before the court and answer the statement filed by the plaintiff. The defendant appears before the court and files the written statement. The written statement is a counter to the plaint which is filed by the defendant stating his facts and points. Judgment and decree. The court shall give the judgment after hearing to both the parties of the case. The judgment of the court means the statement given by the judge on the grounds of a decree or order. Decree means the formal expression given by the court which conclusively decides the rights of the parties with regard to all the matters of controversy in the suit. The order means the formal expression of any decision of a civil court which is not a decree. The decree may be preliminary or final, but the order is always preliminary. An order is given by the court on the preliminary issues of the case which will last till the judgment is passed by the court. Execution of orders and judgment. Execution application is filed before the court for executing the terms of an order or judgment passed by the court, where the judgment or decree or order states that one party has to do something or pay something to the other party and the party does not comply with it. An execution petition can be filed before the court which passed the judgment or decree or order. Appointment of commissions. The code provides that the court can appoint commissions for making any local investigation, examining accounts, or making a partition in any suit filed before it. Suits by or against the government or public officers. If a suit is to be filed against the government or public officer, a 2 months notice must be given to them before instituting suit against them. Appeals to the High Court. An appeal against the judgment or order of the civil court can be filed before the High Court by either of the parties to the suit. An appeal is filed where the party feels that the civil court has made a mistake in the judgment relating to the question of law. The appeal cannot be filed challenging the facts of the case. It must be filed challenging the applicable law of the suit. It cannot be filed where judgment is passed with the consent of the parties. Some of the important orders of the CPC are pleadings. Pleadings means the plaint and the written statement. Pleadings filed in the court must state the facts and be accompanied by the relevant documents. The pleadings must state the address of the parties to the suit. They should contain a verification clause that provides that the statements in the pleadings are true and correct. The plaint should be signed by the plaintiffs and the written statement should be signed by the defendants. Appearance of parties. Both the parties to the suit need to appear before the court on the fixed day. If the plaintiff fails to appear for hearing, then the suit will be dismissed. If the defendant fails to appear before the court, then the court will make an ex parte order and hear the suit. Ex parte means the suit will be heard and judgment will be passed in the absence of the defendant due to his failure to appear before the court. However, the defendant may appear before the court subsequently and apply for setting aside the ex parte order. The court will set aside the ex parte order if sufficient reason for the non-appearance of the defendant is produced and hear his side. Production of documents. The party should produce the original documents to the court where any photocopies of the documents are filed with the plaint and written statement. The party should produce all the documents relating to the suit before the court. Settlement of issues. The court will frame the issues that arise in the suit and give judgment on all the issues in the suit. Issues arise in a suit when a material proposition of fact or law is affirmed by one party and denied by the other party. Summoning of witness. After the issues are framed, the parties will produce the list of witnesses who will appear on their behalf and give evidence or produce documents before the court. Examination of witness. The plaintiff will produce the evidence for the issues framed by the court. The defendant can cross-examine the plaintiff and his witnesses regarding the evidence produced by them. Then, the defendant will produce the evidence for the issues framed by the court. The plaintiff will cross-examine the defendant and his witnesses regarding the evidences produced by them. After the production of evidence and cross-examination of parties and the witnesses, both parties will present their arguments before the court. First, the plaintiff will present his argument, then the defendant will present his argument. The plaintiff can even reply to the arguments of the defendant if he wishes to do so. Judgment and decree. After hearing the arguments, the court will fix a date for the pronouncement of the judgment. On the fixed date, the court will pronounce the judgment in open court. The judgment will be signed by the judge. Judgment will be pronounced on all issues and the reasons will be provided in the judgment that led to the final decision. Temporary injunction. Where any property in dispute of the suit is at danger of being damaged or sold by the opposite party, or the defendant threatens to dispose the plaintiff from the property or cause injury to the plaintiff, the court may grant a temporary injunction to restrain such an act and prevent the damage or sale of the property or dispossession of the plaintiff or causing injury to the plaintiff. The order of temporary injunction will be in force till the next date of hearing of the case or till the disposal of the case. If the injunction is granted till the next date of hearing, it can be further extended on such a date till the next date of hearing by filing an application to the court. Appeal. Every judgment of the civil court has a specific time within which an appeal can be filed by either party who is not satisfied with the judgment. The time period for filing the appeal is provided under the Limitation Act of 1963 depending on the nature of the suit in the judgment. For example, if the suit is relating to contracts, then 3 years of time period is provided to file an appeal. If the appeal is not filed within the specified time, the judgment of the civil court will be final and no appeal can be filed against it. If you like this video, please do like, share and comment and do subscribe to our channel. Stay tuned for more updates.